What's up? It's Jim here. Just want to do a quick video on how to list books and media on Amazon FBA in 2018 because the processes have changed quite a bit from just a year ago. Thanks to Amazon making a few changes in their warehouse distribution system, you can no longer expect to get one warehouse for most of your shipments. In fact, most of the time, you can expect to get upwards of 5 warehouse splits. I've even heard of as much as 20 different splits. Obviously, this is not only not feasible from an efficiency standpoint, it's simply not feasible from a profitability standpoint. Luckily, us book and media sellers have dealt with lots of different blows over the years, and we simply adjust our methods when Amazon makes changes. And that's exactly what this video is going to be here. This video is an update in my Book Selling 101 course, but I am uploading it to YouTube to give people that don't have the course some information and a preview as to what kind of info they will find in the course, and to see that I do update the course as time goes by and things change. I'm also uploading it to my YouTube channel to help out the people that don't necessarily want to pay for a paid training but are just looking for a little bit of help along the way. This is for you too. So first things first, AccelerList is the software that you're going to need to get through this video. It is the best software for listing. I've recommended it for almost a year now, and that's because it has all the features that you could possibly need, and the price is really very competitive. So you can get an extra week on your trial by visiting the link below. You're going to get 21 days to test out the software. Once you have that up and running, come back to the video, and we're going to start right away. Once you log in, you should see a screen like this. First thing you're going to want to do is go to the top left and go to New Batch. For batch name, you can put whatever you want. I'm just going to put Books 1. For SKU prefix, I'm just going to put BK. You can put whatever you want here, but it is required. Just make sure you're consistent. For shipping from, you're going to want to add an address. Make it your home address or wherever you're shipping the books or media from. Channel we want to set to FBA. Workflow type, this is one of the big changes here from previous listing tutorials. We're going to pick private, and this is going to consolidate our warehouses to no more than 3 different warehouses. There's also some other tips here, and that's if you list books or media in multiples of 50, that is 50 books, 100 books, 150 books, you have a very, very high chance of everything going to 1 fulfillment center when you go to complete the batch instead of 3 fulfillment centers. Why that is, I have absolutely no idea, but that does seem to be the case. Don't be surprised if it doesn't work for you, but you might want to give it a shot because it'll just save you that much more money on your shipping fees to have everything go to 1 warehouse. So this is the settings you want here. You're going to want to hit Create Batch. Just give it a second, and this is what your screen should look like. You have 2 choices. You can list in speed mode or in precision mode. If you're simply listing regular books and media, you have a lot of different titles. Most of the time, precision is the way to go because you can set the book's condition as you go. In other words, you can grab book after book. They can all be different conditions, different prices, and you can put that information in as you go, and it works very seamlessly in that way. So we're going to pick precision here. I have a few textbooks to list. Before I do that, there are some defaults at the right where it says listing presets. I set buy cost to $1. Date purchased, you're going to want to leave that set to 1 date. I have mine set to July 2nd. List price, I have mine set to $0. Quantity, I have it set to 1. Default condition, I'm going to set it to good, but again, we can set this as we list. And for condition note, I have a note here I'm going to use. If you are looking for some really good condition notes to use, that is in another video in the course, so you can go check that out. I have a whole video dedicated to conditions and condition notes that you can use that have a really high rate of getting people to buy your book versus other people's. Never let anybody tell you condition note doesn't matter. It does matter. I'm not saying you won't get sales. I've tried every different way, and even if it's only a few percentage points more, that's that many more sales. It's that much more money in your pocket. So these are the defaults I'm going to set here. You want to put your mouse cursor right where it says click here, scan, start listing. I have a textbook right here. I'm going to grab my scanner, scan the barcode. This book happens to be in very good condition. I'm going to erase this note, set to very good. Click on very good. I'm going to hit finish grading. This is going to give you some pricing info, but not everything you're probably going to need. It also has a nice little keep a graph here, so that's nice, but we're really going to want to click this A here to get some more information. So it looks like I really can't price this any more than $16.94 because there's a like new copy. So I'm probably not going to make a ton on this, but I am going to make $5 or $6. So I'm going to set this to $16.93 for now. I could go even lower than that, but the truth is I really don't want to make much less than $5.74. So I think I will get a sale on this in a few months time. Going to click on add item to batch, and your Dymo printer should print out a label. It should look something like this. Going to be a little barcode in the middle. Going to have a skew underneath it. And you may notice it may look slightly different than what you're used to if you are used to listing in live mode. I'm going to cover up the barcode. Now, if it didn't print out for you, you may have a printer issue. If you click on printer settings, you should see a bunch of different printer info. It sees this current printer Dymo label writer. Now, if you don't see this stuff, you want to make sure that A, you have your Dymo label writer software installed, and you want to make sure you have the latest version of it. B, you want to make sure that your Dymo label writer web framework is running, and it should be by default. If you're on a Mac, you'll see it up here. You see this little D. If you're on a Windows machine, you'll see it at the bottom right corner, but that should be running. If you have both of those things running, it's still not working, you want to try Chrome and Firefox. If you've tried Chrome and Firefox and it's still not working, you want to unplug the Dymo, wait 60 seconds or so, plug it back in. You want to make sure obviously that the printer shows up in your system settings, whether that's Mac or Windows. And of course you also want to make sure when you go to your Dymo label framework software that you can print a label through that, and that works. If you do all of that and it is still giving you problems and it is still not working, the number one thing that I've seen in issues with, that's kind of a silent Dymo killer, so to speak, are antivirus software programs. Antivirus software programs can be the bane of your existence because they simply block anything and everything that they don't recognize. And Dymo is communicating with your browser through a TCP/IP port. And you can see that if you go here, it says started on port 41951. Well, antivirus software loves to block ports like this. So if you're running something like McAfee, which is garbage, or any other antivirus software, there are some good ones, but I would highly suggest you disable it, at least for when you are listing your book. Okay, if you've tried all those things and you still have issues, I don't have a whole lot of suggestions for you. You can try the Excellis Facebook group, see if somebody has some recommendations there. I have another textbook here. I'm going to put the cursor right back where it was, and I'm going to scan it. Let's see what this one looks like. We have a choice of two. Obviously, I'm going to pick the one that has the sales rank versus the one that has none. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to check the condition of the book. This book is in very good condition, finished grading. We can see a lot of different prices here, but again, I really want to get the live pricing on Amazon, so I click on the A. I examine it, set my price, set to $25, so I'm going to set my price here for list price. Shows my profit, a net profit of $12.59. This is really great accounting features of Excellis, and there's even more features deeper within the software. We hit add item to batch, a label prints out, I cover the barcode. It's all a very repetitive process. You'll get into the swing of it really quickly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish listing the rest of the textbooks that I have. We're going to come back right when everything is finished listing. And if you're following this video and you're listing your books as well, I want you to do the same exact thing. It's very straightforward. So this part is very simple. You put the sticker on, you list the book, and you put it off to the side. So the one difference that we're doing here versus when we used to list in live mode is that we don't necessarily have to put it in a box. And the reason for that is we have to box these books after. There's a whole different process that we have to do when we list in private mode versus when we list in live mode. So it's no longer list, label, box, but it makes much more sense now to list, label, set off to the side, and we come back to box it later. Okay, so we're back. So you should have listed all of the books that you have to list. Everything should be put off to the side. Everything should have labels on them over the barcode of the book that was printed from your Dymo printer. So when that's all done, what you can do is complete your batch. So you want to scroll to the bottom, click on complete batch. It will say, are you sure? You want to click on OK, and it will say your feed has been uploaded. Should we create the working shipments for you? So we're going to click on create shipments. Excel list will load for a second, and it says your working shipment has been created. So you can click on this open AZ shipping queue, and it'll give you some more info as far as which fulfillment centers it ended up deciding to send your books to. Okay, so as I promised, it sent it to no more than 3 fulfillment centers, which is the important thing. No more 10 warehouse splits. And it's going to send 11 to one, 9 to another, and 2 to another. This test batch down here, this is nothing. This is something I was messing around with. So now all we have to do, go back into Excel list, and we have to go to list box contents. So this is the next step. First, I'm going to get rid of this test batch here because this is not relevant. This is an old shipment that I was just doing a test on. So I'm going to close that and we're going to come back. Okay, we're back. So what we're going to want to do here is click on the top option. And that's, for me, it's MSP1, but click on whatever it is for you. And it's going to have a checklist here, which is really nice because it's going to tell you what Amazon is expecting to be in this box. So we can see that this box has only 2 different SKUs in it, which is not really that many. So we really want to find a box that has a lot of different SKUs in it because that's going to be the easiest one to start with. So let's go down to this middle one, and we can see that this one has 9 different SKUs in it. Now remember, this shipment only has 22 total units in it. So this is a very small shipment. So 9 is quite a lot. But we'll check the bottom one just to be sure. So the bottom one has the second most, which is 6. So we're going to start at this middle one that has the most here, and you're going to see why. First thing we want to do is click on Add a Box. So once you've added your box, obviously you want to have an actual 16 by 12 by 12 box open, and that open box, you're going to throw in the books as we scan them. So let me show you how this works. First, you want to have your mouse where it says Scan FN SKU here, and I'm just going to grab a book off the top of the stack, right? I don't know what's what. I've just been putting things over to the side, and I certainly don't have all day to go through book by book and see what book goes where, right? That's crazy. That's why we have this box content manager that Excel has added into their program. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I said, grab a random book, and you're going to scan that barcode that we placed onto the book earlier from the demo printer. And you can see it says quantity in box 1 of 1. So what does that mean? Well, the first thing it means is that this book actually belongs in this box. It belongs going to this fulfillment center ABE8. So that's what we really want to know. What does that also tell us? It also tells us that we don't have any more copies of this book that Amazon is expecting in this shipment. So that's really helpful if you're doing textbooks or you're doing things that you have multiple quantities. So it's expecting this. I scanned it. It's all I have to do. Now all I have to do is just throw this in the box. So I throw it in the box. I do barcode up, but it doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to grab another book. Again, the same barcode from the demo printer, and it gives us an error. It says we can't find that SKU. So we know this doesn't belong here. Really, really simple, right? This sure beats the other way, right? Which is going through every book one by one, and that's what people used to have to do. So that one we put to the side. We know that goes somewhere else. Next book. Well, 1 out of 1. It puts it in here. If it puts it in the shipment, it's good to go. And I've actually done a lot of QA work with Excelis to, kind of work on it and help them out a bit. And I've done a lot of testing on this box contents manager, and I've helped fix a lot of bugs. So this is actually very stable. From what I found, I've had no issues with it. They were very fast to fix the problems. So this should work very well. Got another book here. Let's see if this book goes here. It does. It's real simple. If it goes in there, you throw it in the box. At the core level, all I'm doing is grabbing random books, scanning them in the current box to see if they go in this box. If they don't, I put them to the side. I scan them again later. Let's check this one. Okay, so this one does go. So that's nice and easy, right? Oh, but I have another one. Same book. What happens? We get an error. Doesn't go there. It says, hey, you've already got that in there. Push that off to the side. Got another book. I got 2 copies of this. Okay, so this one is accepting. Goes in the box, nice and easy. Now I got this other one again. What's going to happen? Should give an error, and it does. So this goes somewhere else. That goes off to the side. I have this one now, and this one goes in here. And you could see that it says I have 7 out of 9 SKUs in the shipment already. You get to a point where you're thinking, you know what, I think the box is getting too heavy. You know, you hit that like 45-pound weight limit. That's really what I don't want to go over, even though you can go up to 50. Then what you want to do is hit go back, or just do it on this screen, hit new box, and start listing the rest of the books in the new box. So you can create a new box at any time. Once your box gets full, create a new one, and it's very simple. But I have some room left, so I'm going to keep going. This one doesn't belong. Gets pushed off to the side. I have a really big set of books here I'm going to make a really nice profit on. That one belongs, and this one is really heavy. That goes in the box, and at this point I'm getting a little concerned, so I am going to continue scanning, but I am going to weigh it before I actually decide to go with what I'm going with here. Okay, so this is the last one, so 9 out of 9. So this is all set. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it on the scale, make sure it's not over 50 pounds, really, ideally not over 45 pounds, and I'm going to move on. So I have 9 of 9 SKUs in shipment. Again, in shipment. This entire ABE8 shipment is done when you see this right here. So now I'm going to move on to the one with the second most number of books, which is PHX6. We're going to hit add a box, and we're going to do the whole process all over again with the remainder of the books that we have left. I have another brand new box taped up, ready to go, completely empty, ready for me to start loading up. So now I'm going to do that, and you can see it's very simple here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come back once I have everything added to all my boxes, and we're going to complete the shipment. Okay, so I am all set. I have finished all of my boxes. All 3 of these are all done. I only needed 1 box for each. For you, that might not be the case. Just to show you, you could see this one, 2 of 2. This one has 9 of 9, and this one, it says 6 SKUs, 11 shipped. So this one has multiple, so we have to scroll down a bit, and we can see the checklist. Everything is accounted for. So everything is set in Excel list, but there is still one last thing we have to do. And that is, number 1, if you haven't already, once your boxes are all full and you've scanned everything in, you have to put in some void fill or something to free up any of that empty space for when you ship it, and then you have to tape it shut. You have to weigh the box, and I like to put the weight of that box as well as the fulfillment center written on each corner. Okay, once you've done all that, now we have to print the 2D barcodes for each of these. So we're going to start with this one right here, MSP1. It's a very small shipment. I'm going to click on work on box here, and I'm going to go to print label. And it opens up a new tab right here. You could see this. Now this has to be printed on a regular printer. You're not doing this on your Dymo, but a regular laser printer or desktop printer will be fine. So I'm going to hit print, and you could see it tells you the shipment ID at the bottom. So if you're unsure what barcode goes to what when you have a bunch of papers, that's really all you need here. You just kind of match that in Seller Central. Now you could also match it here in Excelus. It tells you the shipment ID. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to go to the next shipment. Only 1 box here, but you need to do this for every box. So I want to be clear on that. You have to do this for every box. So if you have 1 shipment and you split that into 3 boxes, you have a 2D barcode for each box. Click on work on box, click on print label. Now you can see this is getting a little funky. It's showing a white screen, so I'm going to click on X. I'm going to do that again. Okay, here we go. It has a different shipment ID. We hit print that out. This time I'm going to close the window so I don't have any issues. And finally, we have the bottommost shipment. Work on box, print label. Again, a different shipment ID. We go to print, we hit print, and we're good to go. So I have 1 box per shipment, which means I only have 3 2D barcodes. So you want to go to your printer, you want to pick up all of those 2D barcodes, and you want to cut out just the barcode piece, because this is only going to take up a little corner of that piece of paper. You don't have to leave the shipment ID part in, but you can. That is completely up to you. Once you've done that, only now do we go into Seller Central and fill in all that information. So to be clear, once you've printed out the 2D barcodes and everything is assigned in Excelus, we are done on the Excelus end. Now it's just finishing everything up in Seller Central, putting in the weights, and dealing with all that. So once you have those 2D barcodes, you want to tape them down on their corresponding box. So I know that MSP1 is my smallest box. I know that ends in 96, so I just look for the barcode that ends in 96. You could also print them one at a time, cut them out, label it as you go if you were worried about getting confused. So you're going to have, at the end of all this, you're going to have all your boxes, a 2D barcode, and your shipment label on each box, and then you're done. So I'm going to go grab those pieces of paper. I'm going to put them, tape them on my boxes. And then we're going to go into Seller Central. We're going to finish out the batch. Okay, everything is printed out. I taped everything to my boxes. Make sure you did the same. And finally, we have to go to Seller Central. So we're going to open our Seller Central tab, go to Manage FBA Shipments if you're not there yet. And you're going to see your 3 shipment IDs here. So we will start with the top one here, which is ABE8. Click Work on Shipment. We are going to leave these options set to UPS. You can select FedEx if you want to see if it's any cheaper. And down here, this is the most important part where it says skip box information. You want to select use 2D barcodes. If you don't see this option, you want to enable 2D barcodes in your Seller Central settings. So you have to go to your account settings and enable 2D barcodes, or you won't even see this option. So very important. Number of boxes, we're going to set to 1 because that's all we have. Box weight for ABE8, remember, this is why I write down the shipment ID or the abbreviation, which is ABE8, as well as the weight on the corners of the box because it's really simple. So now I'm just going to glance at my box and take a look at what the weight is. And I can see it's 41 pounds. Box dimensions is up to you if you want to put this. In general, you do not have to. Shipping charges, we hit calculate. $8.65. We're going to accept the charges. And we're going to hit print box labels. That downloads a PDF. You open the PDF and you print it out. And we go back, complete shipment. I like to click mark as shipped. And that's it. That's one full box / shipment done. If you had multiple boxes, you would have set your number of boxes to however many boxes you had, and you would have put in the individual weights, and that's the only difference when you have multiple boxes. So I'm going to do the same exact thing for the last 2 that I just did for this one. And when I'm all done with that, I'm going to show you a picture of what your boxes should look like before you send them out the door to get picked up and processed at Amazon. Alright, here we go. I've printed out all of my shipping labels for all 3 of my boxes, and you can see that this is what your box should look like at the end. Your shipping label, you can either cut right down the middle and tape individual pieces on each side, or you can do what I did and just tape it straight down on the box, but make sure that middle section is all clear so when they cut through the piece of paper, it's not going to cut through the barcode. And it's really that easy. You have a shipping label, you have a 2D barcode on every box, and it's that simple. You can either now drop this off at a FedEx or UPS location, depending on whichever one you chose when you did your shipment. I did UPS. Or you can do UPS Smart Pickup, which you can get a free year. All you have to do is just Google UPS Smart Pickup or UPS Free Pickups, and you will get the address. And that is going to save you quite a bit of money. Pickups are normally like $10. They come right to your house. You can schedule it for the very next day, and they're especially good for really big shipments. So that's it. That's all you have to do to list your books, CDs, DVDs, all types of media, and really anything in 2018. Amazon makes changes, and we just simply have to adjust, and this is what we've had to do. Now, as of right now, the absolute easiest thing to do, like I said, is to ship in quantities of 50 books only. So whether that's 50 or whether that's 100 books, so rather multiples of 50, sorry, not quantity of 50, multiples of 50. Because for some reason that is sending them all to one fulfillment center, which is going to be the cheapest for you and the easiest as far as the amount of work. But if you can't do that, this is the best method, and really all the same steps apply here. Whether you do 50 quantity, 100 quantity, it doesn't matter. You're still now listing in private mode because it's really the only option, and these are still the best steps as far as I've ever found on how to do this as fast as you possibly can. Is it as good as live mode? No, but it is really close. And if you can list your books in quantities of 50 or 100, then it actually is pretty much the same exact thing. It's just very simple. So with that said, this is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are looking for more information on book selling, you can pick up my course at bookselling101.com. Hope this was useful to you. Thanks.